do not like it when it goes this way. I don't like that language and all the stuff that goes down. Totally unnecessary because we've got a really good competitive fight.
Me, let's be honest. I'm just going to be honest with you. If I get to a point of violence, I don't want violence movement to stop me. Yeah, I don't believe by getting upset and then people holding me back. I believe in if I get upset, I want violence.
Goes out to shout houses down and make threats and swear and all the rest of it because he creates chaos wherever he goes. And for whatever the reason, the public... Come down. Come down.
Frank Warren wasn't hiding his frustration after the explosive backstage confrontation between John Fury and Carl Froch. What began as a heated exchange quickly became one of boxing's biggest talking points, with promoters, former champions, and respected pundits all weighing in. As more voices entered the debate, one question refused to go away. Was this simply emotional trash talk, or are these two men genuinely heading toward a fight?
It's nice putting it, you know, I mean, a lot of people like to see all this rubbish, you know, they think it's all like this stage, which it's not. It is unnecessary. We have a good fight. We've got a fight these two guys' styles will complement each other. It'll be an absolute, complete war in the ring, which is where we want.
Frank Warren was among the first major figures to react, making it clear he had little patience for what had unfolded. Rather than seeing it as entertaining promotion, Warren reportedly believed John Fury's conduct reflected poorly on the sport. In his view, Carl Froch deserved respect, and boxing events should be remembered for competition, not backstage chaos. Warren's frustration suggested he was tired of seeing unnecessary confrontations overshadow the sport itself.
Else, it seemed. I wasn't there when it happened because we was inside doing whatever we was doing, other interviews, I think, and somebody showed it to me. I see John with his cut head. Look, that's not what we want. I don't want to see that happen. No one does. But I understand now both sides have made it up. They've apologised. So hopefully it's all in the past and we can concentrate what everybody's out here for, which is a...
That concern was echoed by Eddie Hearn, who admitted the incident appeared to move beyond normal pre-fight hype. According to Hearn, what happened backstage felt much more physical than the usual verbal exchanges that fans expect. His comments reinforced the idea that the confrontation had crossed a line and become something boxing insiders were genuinely worried about.
If he fights John Fury and that light bulb switches on, you know that Carl Froch is a bad man. He was when he was fighting, and he's probably got that same spite in him now. And if he lands one on Fury, then it could be quite devastating. And Froch has always been quite heavy-handed. You know, look what he did to George Groves, ironed him out, and George Groves was world class at that time. So everybody knows that the last thing you lose in boxing, if you're a natural puncher like a Froch, is your punch. And Froch, listen, Fury wouldn't be able to get out of the way of that. He doesn't know how to get out of the way of that. He couldn't get out of the way of that. And I'm sure if Froch anytime Froch is ready to close that one out, it's
Former world champion Johnny Nelson shared a similar opinion. He believed John Fury became completely caught up in the emotion of the moment, losing the composure needed to prevent the situation from escalating further. Nelson also warned that incidents of this nature rarely go unnoticed and suggested the authorities may look closely at what happened behind the scenes.
An emotional being, gets into the moment, forgets himself. You can see, excuse the bad language, but this is, when you see that, this is the moment when he realised he beat up. It was that, when John had done it, like, shit, what have I done? But he had to own it. I think the pressure was on. The pressure is now on John to behave himself. He's distracted a lot of attention and talk, and I'm quite sure someone will have a word with him out. The authorities will have a word with him out there, because that.
Instead of letting the controversy fade away, Carl Froch responded publicly. He questioned whether John Fury truly intended to back up his words, or whether the entire confrontation was simply for attention. Froch argued that anyone who talks about being a fighting man should be prepared to face the consequences when challenged. His message was straightforward. Either settle the dispute properly or stop making threats.
Just to finish, I can't come on here and not mention Big John Fury, the fighting man. He's gone quiet again. He talks the good one, doesn't he? Talks the absolute gobshite out of himself. Doesn't fucking stop going on and on and on and on and on and fighting man. He doesn't shut up, punching walls. And then he gets put onto him. John, what are we doing? Are we fighting? I think DAZN's been onto him. I think Misfits have been onto him. Calisal and the promoter.
Former world champion Duke McKenzie then revealed why Froch's comments should be taken seriously. McKenzie reminded fans that Froch isn't someone searching for publicity after retirement. As a Hall of Fame world champion, he has spent years competing at the highest level. And according to McKenzie, Froch fully meant what he said if the rivalry ever became physical.
He promised me unequivocally that he would smash John Fury to pieces should the event actually happen. Again, you're looking at a former world champion in Carl Froch. You're looking at a former, he's a Hall of Famer, Carl Froch. You don't get into the Hall of Fame, the International Boxing Hall of Fame, without having been pretty damn decent in your own profession.
Returning to the discussion, Eddie Hearn made his own prediction about a potential fight. Despite John Fury's larger build, Hearn admitted he would still back Carl Froch if the pair ever found themselves in a genuine street fight. He believes Froch possesses the experience, mentality, and determination needed to handle that kind of confrontation.
Carl Froch, where does it go for you? Where do you put your money on?
I would never back against Carl Froch on the cobbles. Ever. But John Fury's a big old lump. There'll be some illegal moves in there. Do you know what I mean? But if they ever get close, Carl will be swinging. Do you know what I mean? So
John Fury, however, had no intention of backing down. Responding to the growing criticism, he insisted that life outside the boxing ring is completely different from professional competition. Drawing on his old-school toughness and personal experiences, Fury dismissed suggestions that a smaller opponent could intimidate him.
Man what's done that and done me in person, he's in a bad way today. Every man outside, I'm an animal. I'm telling you now, people who know me, or the past, they're all dead who know me. Who could say he can fight? Outside he's an animal. They're all dead and gone. I'm from old school, from the 70s, 80s and 90s, when men was men. We didn't talk down YouTube. So men made videos, we fought. And you see that, the pussies, man. Pussies. You think some 12-stone man can beat me a fight off that window like an airplane?
Looking to calm the situation, Chisora suggested John Fury should focus his energy elsewhere rather than continuing to pursue a confrontation with Froch. Even while defending him, Chisora acknowledged that Fury has developed a reputation for letting his emotions take over in public, something many believe nearly turned this disagreement into a real fight.
He's always defending his kids, yeah. Point number one, yeah. John Fury should fight that Irish guy. What's the other traveller guy who keeps calling him out in London? I forgot his, Joey Egan. That fight should happen. Yeah, you know, stop going around and headbutting young boys. He should fight that guy.
Carl Froch wasn't finished either. He escalated the rivalry by describing John Fury as a bully who eventually needed someone willing to stand up to him. Froch pointed to his own career achievements, including his famous knockout victory over George Groves, as proof that he still possesses the mentality and ability to handle himself if the situation ever became physical.
10 years younger than Big John Fury. I know he doesn't look well, does he? He looks a bit older. I don't want to give him any stick, but he looks He's 10 years older than me, 60-year-old man. I'm pressing on for 50. So, is it a fair fight? I think we both know it isn't. But he's called it on at Tottenham Hotspurs.
Veteran broadcaster Adam Smith attempted to cool the speculation by suggesting some of the exchange may have been fueled by emotion. Even so, he admitted he would still favor Froch if the two men ever actually fought, adding another respected voice to the growing debate.
He's a fighter to the core. So is John Fury. Listen, it's fun, it's banter, it's entertainment. Carl said to me afterwards, hey, it's all good fun, isn't it?
If they fought, who would win?
I mean, I don't think I would go against Carl Froch ever anyway. In a normal fight. I mean, obviously it's a long time since he's retired, but Carl Froch is a very, very, very top fighter.
That switch up there as well.
And John Fury's a big guy, right? And he's
unbelievable.
Respected boxing journalist Gareth A. Davies then provided insight after speaking with John Fury directly. According to Davies, Fury takes challenges against himself and his family personally and refuses to accept being publicly confronted. In his opinion, the backstage clash wasn't viewed by Fury as a publicity stunt.
Fury, Carl Froch, who wins that one?
Difficult one to call, that.
Really?
You got to go with the
Really?
Cobra. You got to go with the Cobra, mate.
Really?
The Cobra's dangerous. He's still in shape. 48 years of age.
John standing over there behind you.
You got to go with John Fury. Yeah, no, it kicked off a little bit. But it wasn't only Carl Froch that he went into either, did he? He actually went into Lennox Lewis as well. He started steaming into Lennox Lewis a little bit, and I go, whoa, who wins that one?
Former world champion Liam Smith questioned whether the confrontation was entirely genuine or partly designed to attract attention. However, he admitted the intensity of the exchange suggested it had gone far beyond ordinary promotional hype, leaving many wondering just how close the pair came to an actual fight.
Darren will just do anything to drum something up. I think he just wants the Froch fight. I think Froch just called him a little bit on YouTube. But, I think Carl got uncomfortable there. Darren's a fucking lunatic. So, last thing he wants, Darren still jumping out the ring to you, fucking threatening to choke you and all that, do you know what I mean? So, it's the last thing I'd want anyway. So, I think Carl just got off rather than have the aggro of, Darren Till in front of him, screaming, shouting and spitting in his face.
Finally, Darren Till offered his own perspective, explaining that he has experienced similar uncertainty when dealing with John Fury's camp. Sometimes situations appear completely genuine, while other times they seem to change without warning. Till admitted that this confusion perfectly reflects how many fans now see the unresolved rivalry between John Fury and Carl Froch.
Hello, big boy. You think you can beat me? You think you can beat me in a fight? I don't want to fight. Do you think you can beat me in a fight? Do you really? No. Yes. I want the flow with all of you. Good. Come on, I want the flow with all of you. Come on, John. Come on, John. Come on, John. Let's go. Let's go.
For now, the confrontation remains unfinished. Whether it eventually leads to a sanctioned event or simply becomes another unforgettable chapter in boxing's long history of personal rivalries, one thing is clear. The tension between John Fury and Carl Froch hasn't disappeared. The entire boxing world will now be watching closely to see whether this feud finally ends with words or turns into something much bigger.